on the road on our way to purchase and bring home a 2000 C5 Corvette. We are taking the 75 C10, the Power Tour C10, and we have about an hour and a half to go. We just started. So we're taking all back roads, doing it right. It's going to take a little bit longer, but doing it right. Nice little road trip to pick up a car. Check out this crazy intersection. We're on the right side. Now we're on the left side of the road. We're on the wrong side of the road right now. Freeway over there. And then I stay to the right and we hop back over to the right side of the road. Crazy intersection. This is my new 2000 C5 Corvette. Paint's not that great, as you can tell. Take a look on the inside though. The stuff that matters. We got a 6-speed manual, LS1 of course. So 2000 base model, doesn't have heads-up display, doesn't have any of those fancy features, but does have stick shift, target top, which is great, exactly what I wanted. Has a broken glove compartment that just broke a few minutes ago on me. And yeah, taking a look under the hood here, we have the LS1. And no complaints so far. Looked it over already, didn't really see any major issues. This car was taken care of, even though it's not a looker. It was taken care of. I'm assuming this is a relatively new battery. It looks pretty clean. We can get the date off of it later. Now the AC does work, which is crazy. Now this car was advertised with a blown head gasket. I was able to test drive it for several minutes without overheating on me. I'm not seeing signs of a severe blown head gasket. Maybe it's very small. We'll see. We'll take a look as we get to know this car a little bit more. It's gonna need all new seals. The target top, they said it does seal in the rain, but all the seals are just dry rotted. Sticking on the inside here. Let's give it a nice start up. Oh, this is broken, by the way. Can't miss it. They said they were taking it out to do a radio and destroyed it, which typical, it's brittle, happens. Got a cracked passenger seat there. All right. The shifter feels off. Something is wrong with the shifter. All right. We are running. Now we have the traction light. This, being a 2000, has the ABS issue. I think it's the EBCM, something like that. So warming up here, I'm hearing a noise in the front. I never heard that when I inspected the car, but it sounds like a pulley or tensioner or something. The balancer is not wobbling, which is good. But yeah. So this car is definitely going to need some work. It sounds louder on this side. Maybe it is the alternator. But so the ABS here, this car, the 97 and 2000s are plagued with issues with the module that controls the ABS, the traction, all that. When they go wrong, they're not repairable. So you have to replace the part basically if you want traction control and ABS to work. In my case, this car looks like it already went out on it. I was expecting an ABS light to be on though. I'm only seeing the traction light on, which is interesting because it usually is supposed to be traction and ABS. Now here's the panel here. It's plugged in. When I press it, it doesn't do anything. Holding it. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. So maybe the button's bad, but I'm really expecting it's the module went out. Other typical stuff, the head unit doesn't work on the HVAC. That is what it is. Radio, it lights up. I don't know if it works or not. I haven't tried. Not really concerned. I'll be swapping that out because I don't really care for those. All the windows roll down, which is great because these buttons, if you know how they feel like they're one hard click away from not working. But everything seems to work, which is really great. So I'm gonna put this car in a better spot, and we're actually gonna tow it home just to be safe. Still on the inside here, the parking brake, the light turns on. It does not hold the car, however. The owner said there's a certain way you can pull it to actually make it engage the parking brake, but right now it's not doing anything. So we'll have to take a look at that. I did press reset, and then that cleared my check gauges. So we have working gauges, and let me go through them. Oil pressure is pretty good. It raises when I give RPM. Let's see. Twilight off. That's interesting. We do want to be in mile per hour. Lock arm off. Oh, these are options. Alarm, approach lights, auto lock. How do I change that? I don't like the auto lock. Okay. The C5 is really cool how innovative this cluster is. There's so much you can do in this cluster. It can tell you the codes. Really impressed with the cluster. Now this isn't my first C5 you've seen before. I've had a 98 convertible auto. Well, finally 2000 6-speed, and it's a target top. This is exactly the car I've been waiting for. Now I have been wanting a C5 stick shift for a while. Ever since I first got into cars when I started this channel a few years ago. They've been out of my budget. They still really are. However, I found this one for the price of a driver quality C4. It's ridiculous. I got this about 50% off of what a normal C5 stick shift costs. But as you see, it has its issues, and that's the price reflects those issues. So it was a fair price in the end. But it's ultimately what's going to give me the room to make this happen. It's a good looking car. And this is going to become the daily driver once we fix whatever's going on with the engine issues that they told me about, the head gasket potential issues. But so far, everything's exactly as I knew of when I first looked at this car. So I have a tow truck coming on the way to pick this up. Better safe than sorry. We will see you either when we're on the road or when we have the car back home. Well, we are heading back home without the car. Paid for it, got the keys, got the title, all that. But the first tow truck gave us a run around and wasted 3 hours of our day. So there's another tow truck that says they can do it without me being there. We'll see. If that doesn't work, then I'll be back early in the morning and attempt to drive it back. But for now, we're just gonna wait and see if we hear back from this second tow company. The car has made it back home. It actually came in late last night on a tow truck. I was able to leave the spot. The tow truck was able to pick it up without me there and bring it back, but it was real late in the night. Thankfully, it's here. We did have to go through 2 tow companies before that second one finally picked it up. The second one was great. The first one just kind of dropped the ball on us, but it is what it is. We got the car here, and happy to say that it's here. It looks good here. So next step is, what do we do? Obviously I want to drive this, but I need to do some things first before I can drive this, and before I can drive it comfortably. We already went over the center console. The glove box is damaged. It drives fine, but the shifter just felt awful. So the shifter needs some love. Other than that, previous owner, they started painting the brake calipers. Well, they only painted one. The other three are not painted. So I think I might follow through and paint the other ones. I kind of like the red and black look. I gotta check out these tires. I don't know how good they are. They're BF Goodrich, but they might be pretty old. And then there are some wheel locks. So there we have it, my two 2000 GMs, 2000 Camaro, 2000 C5 Corvette. Big difference between performance and completely two different focuses for now. Track car, this is going to be more of a driver. Eventually, this will probably turn into a full-on track car, but for now, let's enjoy it. You can see the marks under it. That's from this thing. This thing is starting to leak. I think it might have just blew a rear main seal on me. But the truck, hey, it drove, that was about 3 hours, almost 4 hours of driving there and back, and it did fantastic. So no complaints really, other than the oil leak that we'll address eventually. But overall, even though the getting it back home took a long time, we still ended up getting it back home, and that's all that really matters. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.